Welcome to Python with Andrew, and we'll continue to look at the dictionary data type, again using another simple application where it shows the power of dictionaries. Remember I said with dictionaries, any element, certainly the value can be any element we like. So I'm actually going to use a dictionary as the element for the value. So I'm going to have a dictionary inside of a dictionary. And we'll see how useful that is. Certainly useful for looking up things. So let's jump across and see what I've got. I've brought up my program from before where I had an inventory, and my inventory database simply had a quantity on hand, which is not very useful, but it's a good start. So if I ran that, we saw, actually let me run it this way. Save that and run it this way. Let me clear that, run it again. Okay, starting there, we've got our simple dictionary, chips, chocolate, Coke, etc. But what if we wanted a dictionary where we had more things inside, not just the quantity, but maybe you want to keep the quantity, the price, the stock keeping unit, maybe even the barcode number, often called a UPC number. But let's see what we'd do there. Well, see, I could do that by every particular element. I could have chips. I could make that a dictionary, and this time I'm going to have quantity. Oops, I better put it inside of quantity. 10, comma, price. So it's $2. And then we might have the stock. I'm going to call it a stock. It's often called a stock keeping unit. We're going to call it 1, 2, 3, 4. And last but not least, we're going to have what's called a UPC. It's going to be a number like, it's probably a string as opposed to a number. So we're going to put it in a string. 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could have done something and made it more useful than that. So that's my for chips, and I could do the same for chocolate and Coke and so forth. And then what I'd do is, instead of having chips is equal to 10, I'd replace that by this whole element here. Okay, so let me, if you like, jump to that. I'll pause the video and jump to me doing that so we can see what it looks like. Actually, before I do it, I'm just going to copy one across. So I'm going to copy that whole dictionary. Instead of having the word 10 there, I'm going to put that there. Right? And you can see, right, I've got chips, and all I need to do now is update chocolate and Coke and so forth. So let me do that. Okay, so you can now see that my inventory, which was chips, chocolate, Coke, and popcorn, has every, their keys and their values are more complex than before. So they are actually a dictionary itself. We'll see how useful that is. So let's try and print this out again. So that was one above before, and now if we look at it, you can see that the, if you like, the inventory is not, it's not very nice printed out, but it's much more complex, okay? Now I could do something along the lines of for items in the inventory, print all the items in the inventory and see how that looks. And you can see that it's a bit nicer, but it's got all the items. In fact, I'm probably better off going, let's me print the item, followed by the items. Let me call it item. Probably a better word to use. Okay, so now I'm just making the printout a bit nicer. Well, actually, it doesn't look much nicer because I can't spell. So let me fix that up. It's the following. Okay, I've made that a bit easier. And now I can actually look at every item as well. And I can, if you like, deconstruct every item. So let's see how I'm going to do that. So it's fairly easy to do this because if I now want any of the items like quantity, etc., remember inventory item brings back a dictionary. So if I now want to look at within that dictionary, I want to look at quantity. I would just reference it in another square brackets. Right? So that's nice and easily done. And if I print that, I'll have now quantities. And if I didn't want quantities, but I wanted the price, I can do the prices. So again, I can, if you like, look up the item and then get more information about that. And that's a more useful than just having the quantity, because if I think about what I want to know about my items, I want to know the price, the quantity, etc., because part of my system might be to update the quantity when someone takes it from the shelf and puts it into their shopping basket. But another part might be when they scan the code, I want to find the code, and I then want to find the price and however many they put in their basket, and if you like, do the checkout process. So I might use this data in different ways. So it's a nice, simple way of starting to build up a bit of a database. And if you notice the format, it's starting to look a bit more like a database in terms of we have information, if you like, records. They're formatted a bit differently in Python. They're nice and fast to get a hold of, but they're formatting it a bit differently. So we have records, so we can start doing things a bit more like a database does, where we get the record, do some processing, update the record, and then move on to the next record. And this is a nice, simple example. I'm just printing the item out, but we could, if you like, do some more things with that. We could update the inventory. We could add it to the basket, add it to their shopping docket, etc., which we'll do in another video another day. Again, short, sharp, good way of using nested inventories, nested dictionaries, very, very powerful structure. It also starts to show you that the beauty about object-oriented programming is we can have objects within objects, and we've got a lot of flexibility there, and Python is very, very good at that. Hope you like that. If so, do share it to anyone else that's learning about dictionaries. It might help them, if you like, get a bit more practice.